Well, hi everybody. I'm going to sit down here at my desk and show you something. Oh my gosh, would you look at that? I just never know what's going to show up on my desk when I walk away. Look at this. We've got this little guy, he's quite happy. We've got this little troll, that's pretty big in the movies now, I hear. And we have Chewbacca. So, hey guys, you're just going to have to step off to the side for a second. I've got a little something I want to show everybody out there. Okay, yeah, you can just stay there. Okay. Anyway, so these are some math symbols that you've already seen before. Okay, multiplication, subtraction, division, equals, plus, percent, greater than, less than. What we're going to look at today, or right now, is this symbol right here. That's called a radical. It's a square root symbol. We're going to talk about squares and square roots. This is really cool. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about perfect squares. Perfect squares are what you get when you take an integer starting with 1. So our counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Perfect squares are what you get when you take a number and times it by itself. So you write it like this, 1 squared. That means 1 times 1. Well, 1 times 1 is 1. So our first perfect square is 1. 2 squared, that's how you write 2 squared, and that means 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, this number right up here that's up in the air, that's called an exponent. Okay, 3 squared means 3 times 3, so that's 9. Okay, now let me show you something. The reason they call them perfect squares is because if we were to think in geometry, a 3 by 3 square would look like this, 3 by 3. If I wanted to find the area of this square, I could take 3 times 3, and I would get 9. And in fact, there are 9 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the area of this thing is 9. So when we're talking why it's called a square is because if you were to picture a square with dimensions 3 on each side, you would get 9. Okay, let's keep going. 4 squared is 4 times 4, and we know that's 16. 5 squared, 5 times 5, 25. I want you to start predicting the next perfect squares all the way up till 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, hit pause on your computer. Oops, 12 hardly got in there. Put pause on your computer and then work those out and see if you got the right answer. Okay. All right, welcome back. 6 squared, 6 times 6, 36. 7 squared, 7 times 7, 49. 8 times 8, 64. 9 times 9, 81. 10 times 10, 100. 11 times 11, 121. 12 times 12 is 144. Okay, and we could keep on going. So I'm going to put etc. down there because we could keep on going. These are perfect squares right here. These numbers 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, and so on are perfect squares. And it would keep on going. These are perfect squares because they are the square of our counting numbers. Okay, so you're going to do some practice in Delta Math where you're actually going to do this. Now, I'm also going to show you how we talk about square roots. Okay, if I wanted to find, oh, there it is, square roots. If I wanted to find the square of these numbers, the square root of these numbers, I would use this symbol. So the square root of 1 is 1 because 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, The square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 4 is 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. The square root of 9 is 3 because 3 times 3 equals 9. Okay, the square root of 16. Now you have to think through in your mind, what times what? What times itself is 16? Okay, that would be 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So the square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 25 is 5. And keep on going. The square root of 36 is 6. The square root of 49 is 7. The square root of 64 is 8. The square root of 81 is 9. The square root of 100 is 10. The square root of 121 is 11. And finally, the square root of 144 is 12. Okay, so here are our perfect squares for our first 12 integers, 1 through 12, and then also our perfect square roots. These are perfect square roots, 1 through 12. You know what? I didn't point out 0. The square root of 0 is just 0. So if we were to throw 0 in here, 0 squared means 0 times 0, which is 0. And also, the square root of 0 is 0. So if you see that, the square root of 0 is 0. Okay, what I want you to do, these are really, really good to memorize, to have memorized. And in fact, I'm going to have you practice it on Delta Math. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is asking for the square root of 81. And this is another one of those timed exercises. So I'm going to hit over here. I'm going to hit start. And what do I have there? 4 squared. Okay, that's 16. Got it. 1 squared is 1. Got it. Square root of 25, 5. Square root of 9, 3. So you're going to do that. And, oh, there's a 0 squared. 0. And let's just say I got one wrong. Say I said 4 squared was, let's say it's 25. We know it's not. Okay, then what it does is it stops your time, and then you start again. So far we got 6 in a row correct. I'm going to start again, and it starts me at 0, and let's see if we can get 10 in a row correct. Okay? All right, so give that a try, and while you're doing that, I'm going to have these guys do it as well. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.